What's up, everybody? Hopefully you guys can see and hear me all right. We'll get right into it. So let me know if the audio and video are decent enough. And then I'm sure we got a pile of questions. I got a bunch of things I'm going to talk about, both precision rimfire and like centerfire matches, all sorts of craziness. So it looks like everybody's popping in, or we got people popping in. Let's see, we got Mr. Quality Maximus, what's up, brother? Lefty O, David Uberti, Broke Hit, saying 5x5, appreciate it. Robert Cochran, Jared Robinson, Walter Guthrow, Alaska One Andy, Ninja Bread Man, Leather Action 22, Ty, what's up? Yeah, we got people pouring in, so that's good. I just freaking had the most exciting match registration of the year the night before Christmas. NRL 22X match. We registered for that. It opened up like an hour ago, and it was like 10 minutes of insanity trying to get people squatted in the same squad. And if you've ever been to a big match like that, then yeah, it happens. It's pretty crazy. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. Jerry Gore, what's up, man? Yeah, Jerry Gore was part of that fun signing in. Scott W. Cappy Case, what's up, brother? We've got Mr. Mark Ray, Stan Lagoon. Tell me if I'm saying that right. I'm reading it, Stan Lagoon. And we got Wheels from South Carolina. The CCI testing was pretty good on my part. I got quite a few guns that shoot it decent enough, and I was going to set that match up to be like pretty easy on target size anyway. So yeah, wasn't going to be a big deal. You what now from Melbourne, Australia? What's up? We got Mr. Dennis Hoffman in the crowd. Aha, perfect. I got it right. Sweet. Yeah, so I've been testing. Man, we got the L3I barreled action in. I think you guys saw a video. Been testing with that. Whole nother other dedicated video just for that. Hopefully, we're going to see Kenny's action. That should be coming in. I don't know when. He's like updated today. Still doing some production stuff with that. Ian over at Elemental Industries. I don't know if they're sending action in for review or not, but you got that coming. So lots of stuff. Do I know when the SG Pulse Pro will be? No, it should be like any day now. I'm waiting for the same thing. I'm actually supposed to be like T&Eing / reviewing those, and yeah, haven't seen anything yet. Take on Anschutz rifles. Anschutz rifles to me are like a very fancy CZ rifle in the sense that they're very well built. I don't think that they're ever going to be a dominant force in PRS or NRL. As far as being a really high quality heirloom style rifle, then yeah, they're really good at that. I've owned like one of them. I've shot 2 or 3. They are good rifles. They're not going to I think you could take a CZ, throw a really good barrel on it, throw some parts on it, and it's going to be essentially as accurate, as reliable as an Anschutz. The Anschutz, most of that is you're buying that name and heritage. And nothing wrong with that. We got Mr. Joe Robb from Tennessee. Mr. Ty, got a SERP from a championship, a part line barrel SERP. What would you go for? 16 twist, 5-0 rifling, and do an EC tuner on it. Thinking about 25-inch with tuner. Yeah, if you're going to run a tuner, then yeah. I mean, for me, I don't typically run a lot of tuners. I'm going to be experimenting with these new clamp-on style that don't require threading on the muzzle end. And so we're going to see how that goes. But yeah, I would go 25-inch, like a 1-2 contour, something like that. And the 16 twist, yeah, 5 is going to be totally fine. Bartline makes some good stuff. Mr. John Payne from Statesville, North Carolina. What's up, brother? Nice seeing you on here. Semi-local. I'm like an hour from you if you're in Statesville. Let's see. Hey, Josh, I have a stock 457 MTR. There are many factors requiring accuracy. How do I know when I need to shim? I assume you're talking about like bolt shimming to take up excessive like headspace. Typically, headspace isn't going to be like a make or break thing. You really need to shim if you're getting something like if your rifle has excessive head spacing from the factory, like if you go to Ely and it's misfiring every now and again, typically there you're going to need to take away some headspace with some shimming. I tend to, if I'm setting up a rifle, I tend to lean towards 42 thousandths or so, a little tighter headspace than most, but it's not like you go from 84 to 82, and then it's a totally different gun most of the time anyway. We got Mr. Off-Center Custom. What's up, brother? Mr. John LaRoque from Toronto. Let me know if I said it right. I'm trying to be on a roll tonight. So far, I'm batting 1,000. And shoots a high quality. I mean, well, if you think about it, really, it's not very far fetched. Both magazines are, anchored to the action, so they're independent from the stocker chassis. So they're both similar style magazines. They both have very similar ignitions. And the difference is on the Anschutz is going to be like the barrel, where CZ is meant to be more production gun, interchangeable barrel systems. The Anschutz is going to be like a press and pin setup. So, it has that going for it. But honestly, I've tested a ton of prefits. You're not leaving a lot on the table that like a press and pin setup's going to do. You're leaving something, but at the end of the day, it would be extremely hard to even test that. Mike Bush going to production with his new V2210 Voodoo magazines coming this week. 10-round version start, other passable after remix versions as well. Yeah. And I can tell you, so it's all hitting us as a wave, just like all these brand new actions in the rimfire. You got the L3i, you got the Kenny, you got the Elemental, you got a couple more I can't even talk about. They're all coming in a wave. All these magazines are too. So if you guys watch the video, and I actually popped one out here because I got one right there. The Alta Honors mag. So this is a Rimex mag, Voodoo mag coming from them too. You got the L3i making mags. It seems like pretty soon here we're going to have every mag option known to man, which is not a bad thing. Competition in the space, that's going to bring the best to the top. So it's going to be pretty cool. You're going to try out mid-barrel tuners. Currently doing some testing one of my bench rest rifle. I typically steer away from anything that creates a variable. So I'm not sure how they secure mid-barrel, but just being me, it seems like mid-barrel could be something like if I'm going into a port, into a barricade, it's a good place to catch something and knock something out of whack. Which is kind of why I don't run tuners on my comp guns, because I don't want to somehow mess with, harmonics, mid-match, mid-stage, whatever. But yeah, I would probably test one. Tuning in from Minnesota. What's up? Brad Wired gave me a cheat sheet. I appreciate you, brother. Mr. Clay Kennedy, sorry. Oh, geez. I'm going to mess it. I know this guy, and I messed his name up. That's pretty bad. But I was distracted by his G hammer. We won't even talk about that. We got Mr. Orange Smoke, John LaRoque. Dang it. All right. I thought I was going to have this on lock tonight, but I'm just going to have to give up. Got Mr. David Rothman from Australia. What's up, brother? Always nice to have the Aussies in the audience. And Gene from down by the bayou. Mr. Robert Cochran, out of all your chats with the 4%, which ones do you like the best? The MDT ACC Gen 2 for the CZ was dang near perfect, but they cut the forend down. I hate shorter forends. If you can see, there's really no short forends to be found. I like the look of the longer forend. I think MDT messed up there. Had they not done that, it would have been out the rip at the time, the perfect chassis. So at that same time, I'm talking to Vision and talking to those guys, and I'm looking at their Gen 1 Vision CZ chassis, and I'm giving them some feedback from you guys. I'm kind of parlaying information. And what they came out with now, even though it's not a monolithic chassis, it is a two-part, but I noticed no flex, no deviation in it. To me, that's the end-all be-all right now, because you're getting that nice groove opening if you need it. You're getting all the features, and that Pro buttstock is really extremely nice if you've ever played with one. So the Vision would be the answer for me right now. I have shot a Fortner action, but long time ago, before I knew what precision rimfires were. So I shot an Anschutz, and then more recently I had shot the Summit, both of them a long time ago. So something I would like to play with. How much do you play with barrel tuning devices or weights? Not a ton. I'm going to get more into it. I'm actually going to build a bench rest rifle at some point in the next 8 to 9 months. And it's obviously going to have a barrel tuner. I'm going to play with a clamp-on barrel tuner, new kind of design. You're seeing them kind of pop up now. So we're going to test those. But yeah. I use an over-the-barrel tuner from Harrell's on my 450 and worked really good for Lapua long range. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt, like when people talk about tuners, you know, do tuners work? Yes, scientifically, like they work. It's a weight, it's a variable weight that's going to change the barrel harmonics. The question for me, the thing that I have trouble solving, I guess, with rimfires is that if you take your rifle and your ammo and you shoot it across 10 days, you're likely to see groups shrink and groups grow and things change, not only because of cleanliness of the rifle, but because of density, altitude, barometric pressure, those kind of things, how humid it is, how hot it is, how cold it is. And rimfire ammo is very temp sensitive. So if you think about it, as that ammo is speeding up and down, when the cold, you know, when it's cold, when it's hot, you're introducing a different speed to it. We're tuning harmonics to kind of catch and be aligned with like a certain like speed, right? Like we're trying to set a node, and a lot of bench rush guys will shoot their slowest and their fastest lot and get them to have a single point of impact at 50 yards. The problem for, I think, PRS and NRL guys is I think it's a swinging pendulum. And if you are a bench rest guy, or you shoot a match, or you're just shooting for fun, where you can shoot siders and tweak things to keep that pendulum centered, then you're good. And they work really, really well. The question remains is there a tuner out there that will not exaggerate those left and right limits as things change in your rifle naturally? So yeah, kind of a soapbox on that. But in your opinion, who builds the best CZ? If we're ship mine off, have it built? I mean, if you're getting one built, like trued, barrel mated, then Kenny's the only one doing that. So, I mean, if you want flat out the most you can get out of it, then that's who you're going to go. You're going to send it to Kenny, and he's going to do all that. Let's see, we got another Statesville, North Carolina in Runes, Cape. Let me see. Rune, Scaper, Glover, I think, maybe. I've already lost it tonight. Captain Savage, can you recommend a bipod with Picatinny rail mount? Also has 45-degree position. A lot of the mounts, and let me see, I don't want to tell you something that's not true. I'm looking around for, no, that's really right stuff. So the SkyPod has a Picatinny, but a lot of options in good bipods that are very adjustable all have the option to go pick and ARCA. So you're getting the pick more interior and then the ARCA. And that's what I would do, because I would say probably if you stick with this long enough, you're going to grow into ARCA, because ARCA is the way. So yeah, I mean, pick, you know, something in your budget. They're going to have something in it, but the Atlas stuff, AccuTac, obviously the SkyPod, those are all really good bipods. And at the end of the day, most of the shooting you're going to do, especially if you get more serious and competitive shooting, your bipod's going to hold your gun up most of the time. And that's about it. Mr. Walter Guthrow, 447 chassis is awesome. Love mine, have zero movement between two sections. Awesome. Yeah, mine either. They do a really good job of that. I have had, what was it, a Savage and a PDC? Never the CZ. The PDC custom chassis, they're a really good value, really well built. I don't like the looks of them. So for me, it's like, if we're going to spend money on things, like, you know, and hang them up, like, you got to like the looks of it, you know, otherwise, just because there's so many options, you know, I mean, if there was like a great option and you hated the looks of it and a terrible option, then obviously you go that way. But in this day and age, you can pick whatever you want. So just based on looks, it's just not a chassis that I would probably get for myself. And it's completely like a me thing. A lot of people really like the looks of them. Yeah, I'm thinking 2500X. I got kind of a game plan already. It's just an expensive adventure, and it's probably 6 months out from being able to afford it. Any interest in shooting a proof research carbon fiber? Yeah, I would try one. The proof barrels, the steel barrels, are freaking really good, just across the board. I haven't shot a ton of their rimfire stuff, but yeah, a lot of good stuff out there. Dave Stuff, buddy makes tuner, bloop tuners actually, and stands besides everything else. Nice. I don't like carbon wrap barrels for what I do competitively, because I want the weight. Like I need the forward weight. On a rimfire, we're always fighting needing more forward weight. So I like the 1-2 steels, straight taper 25 inches because I want the weight there. And I kind of find those barrels to be more dead. Like they're not going to be as finicky about things. So, if I was building a rig to go squirrel hunt with and just have fun, that kind of thing, then yeah, I'd be all over it because, they may heat up a little bit faster. They may not, depending on what kind of carbon wrapping you get. Some can be better for heat dispersion, others worse. But likely on a gun like that, you're not really worried about that anyway. Mr. Ron Bergeron, I've been using Ely Contact 42 grains. I plugged in hypothetical 46 in the calculator, and the numbers look pretty good. This would be for a sporting camber, though. I wonder if it would work. Sporting camber. You should be able to just change your grain. I mean, the further out you go, the more out of alignment that's going to become because it's basing that. And, like 42 to 46 is a pretty big difference when you're talking like that's dang near 10% of the weight of the projectile that you're playing with. So I would think the further you go out, the harder that's going to be to get to line up. Yeah, I saw that picture you sent. Yeah, it looks like he's got the setup for sure. Let's see. Ely makes a ton of different lots. You should shoot tons of it. Do you find a given rifle likes the state of velocity? Not really, because Ely can't freaking get, I know how they come up with the velocities. The velocities never line up to most of our guns. And that's because they're shooting them out of like a limb. They're testing them in their test center, and that's where they're getting that velocity. That's an Olympic style barrels that are going to be longer, way different profiles, different everything. So typically everybody else's gun, especially in the States or guys who are shooting pure SNRL, we're shooting way over the speed. But I've also found like a box of Ely that said it was 1070 that shot like maybe 1090 in my gun, and then a box that said 1050 that shot 1100. So I don't put any stock in the speed that's on the box. Like I typically look for the slowest of what they say they have, and that's kind of how I go about looking for it. Oh yeah, I messed it up. Here we go. Oh, I'm trying to get to this comment. It's a RuneScape RPG lover. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you got me there. I've never really been a huge... I did play some Fallout and things like that, but yeah, I've never really been much into the video games. Gotro. Don't worry, no one can pronounce it. God dang, I keep making everybody's name fancier tonight than it really is. Think he's going to put on some matches second week of next month in Stoneville. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. I'm guessing they're going to be, based on his setup and what he said, probably bench rest matches, I would guess. Mr. Dave Steins from the UK. Who does your paint jobs? Well, I've had several of them done by several people. There's one guy who had painted some chassis. He didn't want to be mentioned. This chassis right there that you're probably going to have a hard time seeing, that was done by GCP Rifle Co. So I had them chamber that barrel. That's a Lilja barrel. They chambered it on a Curtis action, and then I had them do the Cerakote. And actually, it was like $150 or something like that. It's crazy. Really good price for Cerakote. But yeah, they did that. Opinion on, I played with it a little bit, so I actually shot some footage to do a video, but I didn't have enough time with it. I was borrowing somebody's, and then when I got the footage, I didn't really like it because it felt rushed because I was rushed, and it wasn't mine, and I'm experiencing for the first time and making a video. But I like the chassis overall. Feels really solid. I mean, it feels a lot like other MPA chassis. And then, the side release, I have so many reps of just getting up in there and changing out a mag. And typically with my mags, I'm not having to change mags during the stage. But to me, it was I could take it or leave it. Wasn't going to matter to me significantly either way. I've seen some people talk about how fast it is, but how fast do I need to change a magazine? I'm literally going to be competing against guys shooting Remington 700s who have to change a mag the exact same way I do on a traditional CZ mag release. So I'm not knocking it. I think it's a cool idea, and I think it's a cool execution, and it worked well. But I think it's an answer to a problem that probably didn't exist kind of deal. Let's say Mr. Leather Action 22, can't say got to get some rest. All right, brother, I appreciate you coming in. Yeah, man. Thank you, brother. Oh, chamber. I got you. Let me go back to your, let me find. Oh, a sporting chamber. I got you. Yeah, I mean, so the chamber is not significantly going to be like some crazy. Usually, like the sporting chambers are not going to be quite as tight, but it's not significantly going to be a big difference in things like ballistics. What's up, Mr. Redneck? Yeah, I think you probably got some going. If I was going to shoot a gun, especially like bench rest, I would probably track like when my gun shot the best, kind of when it shot worse, what lots of ammo shot best. I mean, I have a really great problem to have is I have a crap ton of rifles, and which basically means I can't spend any significant time with just one because I've got a ton of them and I want to shoot all of them all the time. So basically it means that none of them are ever really truly prepared for anything. But yeah, Mr. John Crump News, what's up? And Mr. Roger Rose, how's it going? Any plans on testing? Yeah, I will test that. I need to hit them up because I have the 20-inch. I would rather have the 24 for sure. So yeah, I want to get up with them and get that and test it. That's right. Yeah, you got to wait. And dang, I've totally forgot, dude. Space Off Center Custom, look him up. The guy's asking about Cerakote. He's going to do my DMR rifle after the season is done. Actually, I pointed over here. It's actually, where is that thing? Up there. Where is it? I don't even know where it is. There it is. It's over there. But yeah, he's going to paint that. He's going to do Cerakote for that because it's just kind of like 8 different shades of green right now. But I'm going to wait till after the season, which is finale is like first weekend in November, our season finale. So let's see. Bench Rest Rimfire guy was telling me how he found his rifles like ammo from the same machine, and he would stick to lots from that machine. Yeah, I could see that, but they're also changing. Like, so every time the machine starts and stops, it's a new lot. But yeah, I mean, I could see like one machine, probably like maybe for his rifle, it's setting the bullet at a certain depth, you know, and it's going to vary a little bit. And maybe that seating depth works really good with his barrel setup. Kenny has not actually like released any of these yet. So like basically people have tried them, but he does plan on getting me one to review, which I'm excited about, super excited about it. So yeah, so as soon as I get it, I will hit the ground running with it. Like I will literally get it, put it in a chassis, put an optic on it, take it out, turn on the cameras and start rolling. So let's see. Do I use Applied Ballistic apps? And I see you out there. Do you use Applied Ballistic build out? Yeah, I do. So I pretty much quit using a Kestrel. I use the AB Quantum app, and I use typically like the AB Profiles 422s, but I do build out all my truing stuff is done on the AB Quantum app. Used to be on the Kestrel, same difference. I just like the app more. Opinion on rear bag or adjustable, and what do you prefer? I mean, if you're shooting PRS NRL, then rear bag when you do need it, because you're going to be shooting off a bag. And I'm always carrying my bag, so I'm going to use a rear bag like 99% of the time because I have the bag. I plan on shooting off of it. And to be honest with you, most of the shooting I do that you guys see me doing on a bipod bag, that's pretty much just for videos. Like I'm typically not shooting off like a bipod in a bag. I'm typically shooting off just a bag because that's how I shoot in competition. Very rarely do I get the opportunity to get like modified prone or whatever. So the adjustable doesn't do a lot for me because I'm never really just static shooting. The adjustable is a good option, or that rear, I showed you guys the rear rest before, because I do, like me, I prefer a bag because I use a bag all the time. But I know there are a bunch of people out there who don't normally use bags or who have hand problems, arthritis thing, because when you're using a bag, you're doing a lot of squeezing, a lot of manipulating a bag with your hands. If you have problems with your hands, then obviously something like that rear rest or the adjustable bag rider kind of things are going to be better. We need ammo manufacturing competition. Yeah, we do. Why won't they let us 22 airgun slug shooters compete in rimfire PRS? I thought you guys had your own division of PRS. I haven't been tracking PRS, but I thought they had an airgun division in PRS. But yeah, I don't know why not. I mean, I think if you went to a PRS match, they're not going to like turn you away. Like, I don't know any match director. If you showed up at a PRS match, paid your money, showed up, and you were shooting a 22 slug air rifle, I don't know any one of them that would just turn you away. Like, I'm not sure they would know how to score you. So that may be a thing, but they're not going to turn you away from shooting. That would be just crazy. Mr. Baruch, I think, hey, first time streamer 10. I'm a young shooter who's been doing NRL 22, NRL 22X, won the youth division at a match. I'm looking into Olympic shooting. Well, you were like getting Olympic shooting is definitely not my forte. Where would you recommend getting Ely match for lot test? One a lot test, spend $200, 5, 10 boxes. Yeah, so I would get it from Kilo Shooting Sports. Always has a huge supply of it. They are Ely in the U.S., so they're always getting they're going to have the most lots. So if you go there, you can buy it by the box. So that's where I would start. Pick the slowest speeds and get a box of each and test. Do I have any info on? I don't have any info on Brux barrels, but the Voodoo 360 is a Brux barrel blank rifle. So the total amount of my knowledge right now is like 400 rounds, shooting it when it first got barreled. And then on video, the video you guys saw, and it's funny. Yeah, there's some days that are like that. Like literally you turn on the camera and, it's the same thing we talked about, environmentals. Yesterday or the day before, whenever I can't even remember now, a couple days ago, I guess. All three of those guns did not perform to the normal standard. But these are the first shots out of the gun, period. The first shots out of this rifle at 50 yards, Brux barrel. And then this was another group with a different lot of ammo. But this is how this gun is shot basically the entire time. So I think it's at the point now where most of those guns are getting dirty because I don't clean guns like I should. But the Brux barrel so far has been very impressive. Appreciate you, brother. Man, my 20-inch kit barrel feels so long compared to my stock. I can't imagine another 4. Man, I love a 24-inch barrel. That's almost all my guns now, 24, 25. How do you tweak? So typically, if you're shooting the same ammunition, you just need to change speed because the BC is not really going to change, or it shouldn't. Like if you have your BC lined out, the only thing that's really going to change for the other kind of ammo is going to be the speed. So if you're shooting Ely match, you run out of that. You get another lot, tweak the speed. Typically, that's 99% of it, and that's typically what I do. Okay, cool. They do. That's talking about airgun for PRS. The AB Quantum app, please make a video on it. The app is a pain to use for me, and I have watched their videos. For those who don't know, if you link your elite, it gives you the upgraded sub version. Yeah, I actually I haven't linked my elite to it, but I just went out. I used it once, and I just bought the elite version of it because I like it so much. I'll try and do something with it. I don't probably know it the back of my hand right now to really make a really, really good video. But I'm getting there pretty close. They won't let us compete in nationals. That's weird. So they have an airgun division, but they won't let you compete in nationals. The only way I see them not, because I'll be honest with you, when these guys hold national events, their goal is to put as many people in that event as they can, because they're trying to sell as many spots as they can to, one, bring as many people and eyeballs as they can to the sponsors and that. And it's just a moneymaker for the organization. So the only reason I see that PRS would not let you shoot nationals is there's just not enough people shooting in the division to warrant having its own field at nationals. But it seems weird to me that they wouldn't, because I know in NRL 22 you can shoot at nationals. Somebody else more familiar with PRS nationals, which I think that's coming up, right? PRS nationals is in in a week or something like that. But yeah, that's weird that they wouldn't let you. Not saying they don't. I'm just saying it's strange that they would turn down guys wanting to go, like, spend money to go to the match. Do you use trigger cam record? Yeah, I do. I have a trigger cam over there. I'm 50-50 on the fence with it. Day to day, some days me and the trigger cam get along great. Other days I want to throw it out of the window of my car on the interstate. I use it, and it's easy to use. And my gripes with it probably aren't a concern for most people. My gripes are that I don't think it does a good enough job to bring you guys the footage for good videos. But yeah, to use it to try and learn from those kind of things, I think it would be plenty good enough. Les Tracy, just get in a rimfire, Ben. So fun so far, pretty much just stock. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You can have a lot of fun with a stock gun trying to run stock setups. And yeah, I see it. Yeah, I'll spend a little bit. I mean, I know the app, I use it and how I use it. I have also been using the little Calypso thing, wind meter. Kind of a spoiler alert. The next video I plan on filming, which will probably be tomorrow, possibly tonight, depending, because it's more like this. I was going to talk about the AB Quantum app. I was going to basically do a video on what you need, what you actually need to be successful, like to go out and successfully shoot long range, whether it's rimfire and or centerfire. And the AB Quantum app was kind of on the forefront of that. Things like this were kind of also going to be mentioned because I really don't think you need any of that crap, even though I own it all. I want to compete against the rimfire guys, but they won't allow it. I don't understand. And Jerry's coming. Jerry's going. He said there's an airgun squad at PRS Nationals. Yeah, I guess it would depend on what you mean. Like, they won't let you compete against them. Like, you're in your own division. But I mean, if you were overall, you'd still be overall, like if you won the overall match. But you're going to be competing directly against other airgun shooters in your division, which would be airgun. My CZ4 is chatting like Center X, whose rims seem to center around 0.43, measure for bolt shims, and it measures 41 thoughts. My 4% chance like Center X, whose rims seem to center around 43,000. Signia says pretty normal. Measured for bolt shims, and it measures. So you're saying your headspace measures 41 thousandths right now? At 41 thousandths, you probably would have a pretty hard bolt close because you'd be compressing that Center X. What we got in my gun club, I think he won Nationals 20. His name is Pete with a Greek last name, I forget. I would second a video how you set up use ballistic. I'm new to the hobby. Yeah, and that's why I like the AB, and maybe I can do some screen record on that. I think I would probably need to do like its own video on basically setting up and like specifically a profile in AB for rimfire and kind of how I would tweak that. But yeah, for sure. Let's see. Still rocking. I don't blame you, the Stray Lock Pro, man. Got to keep that band software around somehow. So stupid that they did that. More conversation about it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know because I know NRL does for sure have it, but I thought PRS would. I would watch that AB video a dozen times. I hear you. Yes, 41,000, but bolt doesn't close hard. Have measured multiple times with a depth micrometer. Yeah, I don't know. It's I mean, it should theoretically be compressing at 2,000ths, which you would feel that for sure. Like, so yeah, I'm not sure, and it's hard. Are you measuring the? Because there's two different measurements. Are you measuring the, so I don't have a bolt crap, and I can't touch any of these things. Okay, let's say this is your bolt face and your bolt body extends out here. Are you just measuring from like the bolt face to the end of the bolt and getting 41,000, because that's not necessarily your headspace, because the bolt doesn't go to the chamber of the barrel. There's several thousandths of gap in between there, because as the bolt comes in and gets close to that barrel, you have to maintain a couple thousandths gap, just because trash and debris gets in there. And if it was up against it, if you ever got debris in there, it would not allow you to close the bolt. So if you're getting 41 from the bolt face to the end of the bolt, your headspace is probably several thousandths more than just that. And that is the only way I think that what you're describing could be. See, I just went and looked up the PRS national match and MX scoring. Squad 21 is an airgun squad. Yeah, I thought they would. That would be weird that they would allow you to compete month to month and PRS build points and not go to nationals. You need a shave, killer. That beard is not. This beard is still new, man. It's fresh. This is like a 2-week-old beard, bro. I've had to shave this thing so many times. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. I think now, like, you're going to be an air gun division. Like, you're still competing at the overall match, but you're competing in its own division. Like, they give you guys a division. You could still win overall. Like, but yeah, you're not going to be an open, because open would be rimfire open. Well, I mean, I guess I would ask you, like what's the difference? Like, if you're gonna win overall, then be the overall match winner. Like, but I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, you want to compete in open, but there is no, like, open is just the differentiation, like, differing between rimfire, base class, or production and open. Like, it's not like a universal anything category. That would be like a base class guy going, like, I shot base class all year. I'm accumulating points. And this is a better explanation for you. You competed in PRS, you competed in an airgun division against other airgun shooters, and say you won every match where, you were the top airgun who showed up. But let's say, and this is not saying anything, but this is all hypothetical. Let's say you finished, there's 50 shooters at every match you attended, and there's 2 airgunners, and you finished 25th overall in the match, but you were the top airgun. You accrued 100 points per match, and then you go to nationals. That's why they don't let you compete against open, because you didn't compete against open to get your 100% match points, because you could have won airgun division all year and been mid-pack against the open guys in 22. So to let you, like, bump up, that's kind of why it's like why they run that and wouldn't let you just shoot open at the finale. Now, whether or not PRS needs to allow for 22 air guns to compete just in open division, period. I mean, that may be, you may have like a case there, as the air gun stuff gets better. If you're going to matches and you're winning, or you're in the top 3 and you're like, I don't want to compete in air gun, I want to compete in open with my air gun. Maybe that's something as it gets more popular, they'll do in the future. But for right now, I think that's why they wouldn't allow that, because essentially you've competed against, on paper, other airgun shooters all year at local level matches to build points to get accepted into nationals. So now you're forced into, you're going to have to compete in the airgun division at nationals. Let's see. Measuring from end of receiver to bolt face and breech face to barrel seating face and subtracting. Yeah, it's weird. It should be a hard bolt close, like, because you're compressing the cartridge 2000. Maybe it's just right there on the edge where it's just easily compressing it because you have that mechanical advantage, but it's fine. I mean, if there's no hard bolt close and it's shooting good, then it's fine. Let's see what Mr. James Hinton, what's up, brother? Scott Price, how much accuracy fall off is your signal to clean the chamber or some other sign? Typically, when I see the gun just not shooting the way it normally does, and I don't make it like on one shooting trip because it could be environmentals. But if I'm going to wait for it to fall off, typically I'll just start seeing the groups grow, or I'll start seeing like abnormal shots at distance, like when the gun is always kind of hammering into like at 150, it's always shooting a 2-inch group or better. And all of a sudden it shoots a 3-inch and a 4-inch group. Like, then I know, hey, maybe it's time to take a look. No problemo, brother. Yeah, I mean, the stuff's evolving with the air gun stuff. So, you know, like, it's going to be a thing. I think in the next couple of years, they'll probably change the rules. Because, you know, now with the newer slugs that are getting crazier, and I mean, it's going to have to be something else than what it is right now. Working on the dates, man. Couldn't get enough people involved for the CCI, so probably the next one is going to be the Long Gong, and hopefully in the next 2 days I'll figure out a date and set it and blast it out there so everybody who wants to come can make arrangements. Mr. Mark Lochway, what's up? Want to build Venturous? I mean, Venturous is what I think you're trying to say. 22. What do you suggest? What would be best action? 2500. That's what I see most of the guys running, like 2500s. Let's see. Your suggestion for a scope for hunt focus gun, but enough zoom for 50 yard. I mean, you don't need a lot of magnification, but you really can't go wrong with a 5 to 25. Pick your flavor, like, you know, your ballpark budget. 525 will do a lot of things. 5 power is, you know, plenty low enough for hunting. Like, 5 power is not, you know, crazy. But yeah, I would maybe look at a 525, maybe even a 4 to 18. What's up, Mr. Whippler? What's going on? Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence, man, about, like, the slugs are there, those kind of things are there. I'm not totally sold. And again, I'm like sponsored by SaberTag. Those guys are huge in air guns. I've been in air guns a long time. I think that there's a few big differences in scientifically how 22 long rifle bullets and stuff kind of form, set back in the barrels that slug guns don't make peak pressure to do, just because they can't create those peak pressures. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I guess really, we'll both know at the end of the week, right? Nationals coming. So I know when I shot NRL, I shot with Matt, who's, you know, obviously a really great shooter, really great guy. And he shot an air gun. And I would say that year Nationals, the target sizes were like wildly appropriate. They were not teeny tiny. So the air gun guys had a good shot at it. But it'll be interesting to see at the end of Nationals where the air gun guys fall in terms of overall, because there's some really good shooters behind air guns. So if the air guns truly are there, then we're going to see them in the mix. I would say as of right now, I have yet to see air guns at national matches, like mixed, you know, with 22 and those kind of things, really stay up towards the top. So to me, so far, I would play devil's advocate and say that they're not there yet. Just in terms, and not saying that an air gun can't go shoot stupid good SD and ESs and shoot good at distance, because we know they can, but they do tend to be pickier, you know, fighting POI shift, fighting reg settings, fighting all these things. You got to really, 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 really stay on top of your air gun. Whereas a 22, especially these open builds, are consistently they're just consistent machines. And I think that's where the air guns lack or fall behind, not in terms of just raw accuracy or raw capability for long range shooting, because obviously the air guns hold an advantage in that department, because they'll shoot a ES of 6 feet per second, extreme spread, with an SD of 0 or 1. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But Nationals is going to tell us, which will be cool to see. I would like to see match provide the ammo means to share ammo manufacturers as a means to counter the rising cost of match. You know, something has to give. Yeah, I mean, or new matches. Like, you're not going to find precision guys with precision full builds wanting to go to a match and shoot just random ammo. And I get it, because, you know, their gun's going to like a certain ammo and it's going to hate another certain ammo. But I do see places like I wish we had more 22 rimfire DMR matches where the targets are bigger. You don't have to worry about ammo so much. It's more about getting in a position, shooting fast and accurately, and using like a handgun in the mix. But yeah, we'll see. My DPG 457 is finally coming this week. 13 months wait was painful. Oh yeah, I can imagine, brother. That's got to be exciting though. Shoot any matches against the X-Ring soon? No, I shot a sniper DMR match a couple weeks ago, maybe a month. I don't even know. We shot a Clinton House tactical sniper series DMR match, and he was there. He was kind of shooting a new 5.56 223 gun that was brand new, so it was like speeding up on him. He wasn't in a good position to perform how he normally performs, which is at the very top. But I did get to shoot with him, not on the same squad, unfortunately. But yeah, it was like a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks ago. Good match, though. For your rimfire says, how much cant do you run for the Razor and other scopes to reach that? So typically 30-40 MOA is going to be fine. It's more going to matter how much internal elevation you have. And it's kind of like an exponential factor. You get a scope that doesn't have a lot of internal elevation and you need more cant, but the problem is you can't run a lot more cant because you still need to zero and shoot at 50. So with a scope with less internal travel, you're going to have to basically go less than 50% of that on your cant. So, but for like a Gen 3, you can almost dial it with almost no cant. But if you run a 30-40 MOA cant, combined base and rings, you'll be fine. You can dial 300 yards easily. I've shot them. I haven't really used them. It's actually a scope that I need to get and review. I just haven't. It's been quite a while. But yeah, would be something that I definitely need to get back on the ball and reach out to those guys about. Let's see. Just got an MTR after watching a ton of your videos, thinking about bipod and any in mind that works. Yeah, I used an Atlas BT46 for a long time. I have a Skypod now, so obviously, like when you have a baller bipod like a Skypod, you use that. But the Atlas, I never had any complaints about it. I mean, it works fine. And at the end of the day, like I said, for me, the bipod's mostly just holding the gun up. I'm not really shooting off of it a ton. So let's see. I have a Vortex 4-12 on my squirrel gun, an ARC, and EP5 Gen 2 on my kid. There you go. Yeah, they're definitely, it's advancing. When you look at air guns where they were, even so a long time ago, I did a video where I took just like a CZ and the M3s were just a thing then. Like the M3s were just out and with like the slug kits. And even then, like from then to now, like it's progressing really fast. As kind of its own thing. And I think eventually they're basically going to probably just have to run their own comps or, you know, figure something out. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing to kind of, and I've been keeping tabs on it because I got a bunch of friends who are really serious airgun shooters still. And I play, you know, I got my Raw over here. I got a Karma, I got guns. But I haven't been like seriously competing or anything with them for quite a while, but I still have fun with them. I more enjoy, you know, messing with them, how quiet they are, that kind of thing. There's one thing's for sure. If you're going to be in air guns, you better be a tinkerer. That's for sure. Mr. Greg Johnson, 457 Manners MTR worth looking at, or my money be better spent putting 4% in a different chassis, the TKT? Yeah, I mean, if you love Manor stocks, then yeah, you're going to be perfectly happy with it. If you don't know if you like a Manners or you don't know if you like a chassis or stock and you want to get in a serious competition, 99% of people end up with a chassis. So if that's the move, then get the cheapest one you can and just start hacking away on the build. Because if you don't like the Manners, or if you're just trying to build something super competitive that you want to be more modular at the end of the day, because that's what you're going to need, modularity, M-lock slots, those kind of things, then you're going to spend more money on a Manor stock that's probably going to sit around. So yeah, that's kind of what I would think about that deal. Is headwind a thing for 22 since Bliss kind of don't show a difference? I mean, I see a difference in my ballistics if I have, you know, it's always going to depend. How strong is it, you know, plus what your shooting angle is, all those things. I mean, I'm trying to account for all wind. But yeah, I mean, I would say since it's kind of, already a subsonic deal, that it's probably not as big a deal, but a little above my pay rate, I would think too. What's so special about bench rest that Rimx is not good enough? Single shot thing? Well, so repeaters are always going to be built on a looser set of tolerances. And because they have a magazine, you have to take material away from the action, right? So the action's always going to be more repeatable, more precise if you leave more of it there. Like if you could just take a 4x4 chunk of steel, put a barrel on it and feed a bullet down a tube and fire it off, like that's going to be better. So there are, of course, Rimx builds and things out there that I think would walk the dog on some guys' bench rest builds. So I'm not saying a bunch of 2500Xs, but there are definitely PRS rigs out there that shoot really well. And again, I mean, if I stayed on cleaning program for my Brux Voodoo and actually like lot tested this isn't a lot. This is like ammo I had. I would say I would be able to compete with that in bench rest pretty seriously. Of course, it's more than the gun. It's wind calling and all the other things. So let's see, Mr. Field Pro, that's my buddy. He's messing. He's one of the really serious air gun shooters that I was talking to, and he's just here to mess with me. We don't very often talk about air gun stuff on these live streams, actually. But nice to see you, brother. Am I the only one who's tired of playing 22 ammo headaches, not to mention the cost and I'm having more fun with Center? Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I love my 22s. I have not shot a serious 22 match since I went to the night match that I'm planning to shoot this year, last year. I've been shooting DMR. So I've been really big into Centerfire DMR, shooting my gas gun, my handgun, that combo. And part of it for me, I think, is I've done a lot of rimfire shooting, and I still love to shoot the rimfires here and go to the matches, and I still love it. But the DMR for me is like a new thing, a new goal. So it's got me motivated to compete. But yeah, I mean, I can see the burnout from the ammo for sure for a lot of people. Did you have to add front weights? For the MCR. In the Vision, do I have weights on there? Yes, I have 2 weights on there. Would I have to add them? You could probably get away without them, honestly. I like my gun to balance like well forward of the barricade stop. So, for me, like I wanted to add, I put weights on pretty much everything to get the balance perfect, but you could probably get away with not running them. Got much Centerfire updates lately? Is 223 Pristine still around? Yeah, actually, a buddy of mine shooting that. So I need to bring you. I'm probably going to bring you guys on the finale. I haven't been shooting bolt gun much. I got my 22 arc. I'm going to the Gap Grind first weekend next month, October, a couple weeks from now. Going to the Gap Grind to compete at the Pro-Am. That's with my 22 arc. And then November, beginning of November, so the following month, I have my DMR match stuff, but I'm only shooting the Gap Grind because my buddies are going. Like, I don't have any real, like, there's nothing pulling me to go shoot, like, Centerfire PRS matches. Like, there's nothing, no desire there for me. That gun's more like I have the capability to do it if I want to, and I want to go once a year and shoot the Gap Grind with my buddies. But gas gun and DMR stuff is definitely where I'm at right now. Let's see. Joining late, Mr. Elijah. Sure you addressed this. Sorry. How are the new actions? Anything making waves? Well, I mean, we have the L3i. We hadn't talked about this a ton. We got the L3i, which is a 90-degree, like 40X based build. So some people are going to love that. Some people are not. A lot of people don't like 90-degree actions. And for the price point it's currently at, I think that does make some waves based on how it's shooting, how it's shot for other people. Mine shoots really well. And at its price point, I think it's definitely, look, I hope that they don't shoot it way up. If they shoot it way up, I don't think it's going to be making waves, like because if they shoot it way up or if they shoot it up, it's going to be parallel to Rimex, Voodoos, those kind of things. And I think they need to leave the price point lower to get them out there, to build it so people can see other people shooting them and to say it's not just a couple rifles perform really well. It's like all of them do. But yeah, Kenny's action, I think, I forget the price point of it. I think it's also really competitively priced, and it also looks very intriguing. So I think that will make some waves for sure. Mr. Chapman, saw you sign up for Night Match. Can you talk a little bit about gear you'll take? Actually, so I don't even know what the heck I'm taking, but yeah, I'm trying to decide on the rifle. I will have like a clip-on light to illuminate my turrets and my dope card. I'm going to take like a UV pen and write my dope, and then a UV light to charge it up so I'll have glow in the dark. And we're talking about the Night Match. So you shoot, it's a rimfire match. You shoot like 10 stages during the day, 10 at night, and there's no white light allowed. So they illuminate the targets, but you're basically dark on the firing line. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to run. It'll just be, it's probably going to be the Rimex or the Voodoo. The Rimex already has, I think, is it Rimex that has a Gen 3 on it? Yeah, so the Rimex already has a Gen 3 on it, which has really good illumination. So that's kind of, but I mean, I'll swap scopes around if I need to, but that's kind of my plan. Good illumination optic, the little light thing clip on. I'm going to get a little tricky with a UV flashlight so I can like hide secret squirrel and charge up my dope cards. So I don't have to see them with artificial light, but yeah, be pretty cool. Yeah, they don't use tracer rounds for it. It's just your regular ammo. When you miss at night, you don't see crap. So you better have a good trued up rifle, because there's no like seeing it if you don't hit the target. Yeah, that's for sure. I can see that. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Let's see. I initially put weights on my 457 Vision chassis, but I reset them off and it's only made the balance point back about a half an inch. Still well in front of barricade stop. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, typically it's, you typically don't need to. The Pro buttstock is a little heavy, but it's got all those adjustments. So you could rip some of the stuff off the Pro buttstock, honestly, if you needed to make, something kind of similar or balance better. We had freedom for a week. Nice, yes. California, man. Yeah, Mr. Chapman, no trace allowed. We do got L3 out here. We make a product equivalent to everyone else, but our price will stay nice. Nice to hear. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and I wouldn't, I'll double down back on that. I'm not dogging on you guys. I'm just saying you're new into the industry. So you don't have, right now, your rifle doesn't have like the amount of people aware of it as like Voodoo and the Rimex. So staying at a competitive price, making it more appealing for people to buy that gun, having seen the success of the few that are out, that will compound and your name will eventually surface up there. And then it's kind of all even Stevens. But yeah, I was hoping you guys would keep the price competitive. And again, it's a 90-degree action. Some people are not going to buy a 90-degree action just because they don't want a 90-degree action. For me, I don't really even think it's a consideration, because I literally can go back and forth between a 90, 60, 70, like in 2 bullets, and I don't even notice the difference. But that's kind of the point I was trying to make if it came across. Let's see. Patagonia Airguns Chile. I have friend greetings from Patagonia Chile. What barrel length do you recommend for long range? I like 24 to 25 inches. That seems to be generally the consensus across most competitors. You could go longer, if it's not a rifle that you need to pop in and out of ports, if you don't need to shoot pure SNRL, then I might even try 26, 28 inches. The Olympic guys were shooting those for a long time for a reason. But for me, 24, 25 inches is kind of a sweet spot of like ideal barrel length. Really good balance if you get a 120 kind of contour barrel, and not so long that you're, like a Centerfire. that barrel with the break that's a long gun, and it can be kind of a pain to move around. See, Mr. Cody Beach, the night match before Christmas, one of the best matches in the country. Yeah, it is. I wish they'd freaking warm it up for us. It's a little freaking cold for a southerner like me. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, so I ran something before. I think you just have to keep the light. Like, basically, it's just kind of like, because people have little lights and things. You can run a headlamp. It's not pitch black dark, so it's just you can't have like white light, and you just you're gonna want to dim things anyway because you're trying to preserve your night vision, everybody else's night vision. So it's not. I don't think it would be a problem. Question for L3I. I think he's saying if it's not illuminated, don't even bother. You can see, like, I didn't need illumination for all of them. They do a really good job of illuminating the targets really well, so you will pick up on your reticle somewhat, but it's way easier with, obviously, the illumination. Cody, if you send me one, I'll tell everybody about it. What's up, Mr. Partner Down Barney? I haven't, man. I talked to Victrix about getting even a loaner out, but they're so hard to get. They get very few, like the U.S. distributor. They get very few in, and then they sell them out. Maybe I need to reach out to those guys again too, see what they're gonna if they want to try and do something. I mean, in reality, Ray did a review on it. I think Ray actually shot. I'm not sure if he still shoots for them, but he was shooting for Victrix, so it may be a situation where they're like, hey, we got Ray. He did a review for us. We don't really need much more presence in the space. So, can't argue on that. Limited budget. Can anyone name a reasonably priced chassis? I smash looking empty, XRS, and also barrel that a moron like myself can change. Yeah, I mean, KRG Bravo. Don't sleep on the KRG. They're really good. So, yeah, I mean, KRG, the XR, I mean, a lot of those chassis, even the budget chassis, are really good. Got it, $22.99. Yeah, I hadn't seen it listed. I thought it was a little cheaper than that, but I hadn't looked in quite a while. With everyone raising their optics up higher, 90 reactions are even better with a lighter bolt lift. Yeah, I'm not in that clique, though. Like, my optics are still on, like, 126 mounts. Like, I know, like, it's like a trend thing. Like, the optics go up. I like just getting my cheek like really deep into the stock and feeling really connected to it so I can build a bunch of points of contact. For a lot of guys, for a lot of reasons, like they don't like it, but for me, I like having the optic kind of lower. Plus, I like running a sunshade, and sometimes I end up in a port situation, and I can still get my rifle into a lot of ports and areas where guys with a taller optic, can't. So, but I still, even the 90 degree on the lower optic, I'm not hitting the optic. Like, it's not hitting it. It's just a training thing. So, like, I can't grab it like this because I would hit the optic if I was trying to run a 90-degree action, like on a 40X style bolt. But it's just training. I lift up, bring it back, and then push forward and then close. But, yeah, still to me even not a big deal either way. Let's see. You did a video shooting an ARA unlimited target bipod rear bag. When you started, you said you expect to score 20 score. Oh, I don't even remember what the score was. I can't remember if I scored it or just left it. I don't have like plugs and those kind of things. Like, I probably honestly couldn't even really score one of those. So I think I just kind of, was hoping to shoot, like, I had something in my mind to shoot, like I wanted to shoot it this good or whatever. But yeah, that was quite a while ago. I think that video might have been even like 2 years ago at this point, but I have no idea now, like trying to remember what I did or didn't shoot, or if I did anything with it or not. Hello, my name is David. Love your videos. What's your torque spec for MTR woodstock? I typically would go like 25 to 30 inch-pounds max. It's going to depend, like, feel it out for you and your gun. But that's typically where I stay with the woodstocks. For the MTR, you could go maybe 35 inch-pounds because you do have pillars. They're plastic pillars, but they are pillars. So that will help you kind of a little bit. but it's a feel for thing. Recommendations for chassis, I mean, pick your favorite ones. There's really good ones. You know, Vision makes great stuff. MDT makes great stuff. MPA makes great. I mean, you got L3I, all these guys. Like, it's really at this point a preference thing. Like, whatever you think looks really good, that's in your price range, it's probably going to be a really good built chassis. Let's see. Trying to stay caught up. Mr. Jeremy, looking forward to seeing you at the grind. Nice, man. Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's very few times do I get to shoot with all my buddies. And actually, so I'm going to get to do it at the Gap Grind and then in December at the night before Christmas match, because a lot of my buddies are going there too. So I got a couple big matches. That's basically why I go to big matches now, is shoot with all my buddies. I get to catch up with people, see people. It's more of a social event for me now. Oh, let's see. Mike McAllister, Lurking Knights, want to say thanks for the great content to us. Appreciate you watching, man. Let's see. And yeah, the KRG, like if you get the base thing, it's pretty cheap, and it's still cheaper than some of the others. But yeah, I mean, if you can add accessories on a KRG and spend a ton, all the money, like not to mention like their C4 chassis, which I think looks really cool, is super expensive. Let's see. Tagging along with Jeremy C and my brother to the grind, volunteer to RO. So see you out there. Nice. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, man. Definitely. Yeah, RO, and it's sometimes I feel like maybe I should just go in RO, but I do want to shoot the 22 arc. I mean, there's no reasonable expectation of me doing really well shooting a 90 grain bullet against a bunch of pro PRS centerfire shooters, but yeah, I'll try. James said, yeah, there's a rumor that I got friends. Nobody's actually seen any of these guys, so they might just be all made up at this point, but I do got some of them kicking around. Let's see. Magical Maid says, I think there might be an issue with your website. Might want to look into that. Might be getting flooded right now. But yeah, crap. There were a couple of things that I wanted. We're basically caught up. I can't show you. I hate these live streams. I got a brand new pistol, and I can't even show you guys. I got the P211 GTO SIG 2011 for my DMR stuff. I'm like super pumped about it. I can't show you guys, unfortunately, but I've only got a couple hundred rounds down with that. I got a brand new carry gun. Can't show you guys that either. The one thing I can show you is these guys sent me this, and I'm slow. They're probably irritated as crap with me, to be honest with you. These guys, let's see. The Freedom Shack, I've been shooting on this a little bit. This is, I think they call like the F1 bag or whatever. This has a fill that I probably normally wouldn't use. I would use a different fill, and they do have other fill options. This was easier to ship, obviously, with a lighter fill, but this thing is pretty neat. If you haven't like totally dead set yourself on a bag, this thing is actually pretty kind of unique. Like it does a lot of different things. Like you can kind of move this thing around and make it do a bunch of different things. But obviously it's kind of meant to be shot one kind of way, but you get the folding capability down here at the bottom to go over props and things. And then this stays kind of plush, kind of supple, and it's worked out pretty good for me. I've shot off it quite a bit. The problem for me is that, like, am I going to replace my main bag with this? And the reality is, I think this is a really good bag. And if you're looking at getting into new bags, this is probably something to look at and try to see, how you're going to like it. I have been shooting off a bag design like this for like 5 years. So I'm so used to holding this bag, how to manipulate this bag, how to work this bag. It's going to be really hard for me to switch away from something like this to go to a new style bag. But I got a whole video coming on those. I like to do the bag stability videos with using like the Tacticam or the trigger cam. I don't know why I keep saying Tacticam, but the trigger cam so that you guys can see how stable stuff is or not. But so I'll be doing those Pretty soon. Yeah, night match. That thing fills up quick, man. You got to be on your game with that thing. Let's see. Can you say how the Pig 211 compares to closest 2011 or hammer fire? Just curious. So I was shooting 320s, love 320s, but now like I'm afraid I'm going to go to a match and I can't shoot my 320. So I've had a 226 X5 Legion, which is a hammer fire gun. Stupid nice. Shadow 2s, all things. The 211 GTO is probably my favorite gun so far. Now I don't own $6,000 2011s, but this thing is soft. It feels good. It's got a drop safe trigger in it, so it's like the 80 series trigger. So far so good, man. Like, and I bought mine. Zig obviously didn't send it to me. I bought mine, and I'm really happy with it. I was wondering what normal ranges you will have to shoot at your matches. So when I run matches, typically we're going to shoot out to 250, 300 yards. For like a CCI match, I was going to limit it to like 200 yards. A normal precision match, I'm going to shoot out to 300 probably, maybe even 400, depending on, kind of the level of the match. What's a few DMR gas gun scopes worth checking out? Leaning Night Force NX8, 2.5 to 20. That would be a good one. I'm running both the tracked 4.5 to 30. That was really, really good. I'm also trying a Leupold Mark V, 3 to 18. I like those guys. 4 to 20. I'm sorry, the track was a 4 to 25. Sorry, the 4 to 25 track, the 3 to 18. They're all pretty good. I like to be in that range of 3 to 4 power base magnification up to around, something around like 20 power. Obviously, the Night Force 2.5 to 20 would be really good. A great choice too. Yeah, you would rock that plenty fine. Bag looks like it'd be a little hard to use in a prop like a cattle gate. It actually wraps really well. Like it's really kind of easy to wrap on some things. So I've tried to put it on a bunch of different grap, and it's like kind of wraps itself on pretty good. I really haven't had a problem with that. Optimal barrel length for NRL 22 and target D recommends on 24 124. Straight or go comp? I like the straight, 24 inches, 120-ish straight, especially if you're rocking it in a chassis. Then, yeah, you don't got to worry about it. Oh, Clay, here's a reminder to order more. I do need to put a t-shirt order in. I haven't done a pre-order on t-shirts in a long time. But yeah, so that's probably coming. Yeah, oh yeah. So I own like the 226 X5 Legion, like the flat out all you can get 226 X5. I have it. Great gun, but I will say the 226, like it feels like it fits your hands better, but the 220, like the 2011 grip module obviously is what it is, but I run the GTO better. Like the GTO, I would buy the GTO over the 226 X5. And they're similarly priced because like a 226 X5 Legion is like $2,100 just for the pistol. And the 211 GTO is $2,400. So I have, but a really long time ago. That seems to be like a popular question tonight. You were the second person to ask me about that action. But yeah, I have. It's been a long time ago. Include some long sleeve tees. Yeah, it's getting to be, I probably need to do short sleeve, long sleeve, and hoodies. The problem is the more I diversify the availability, like the less of each thing sells, and then the more money it is. Like the place I go is a local place because I don't order like the shirts from China or do like anything like that. It's a local print shop. We use the Next Level shirts, and the local people do it. It's a little more expensive in the long run for me, but I get to see every single one of them, and they're great people to work with. So, but I don't get very many price breaks on quantity unless we do a bunch. And typically, even if I wait a long time, typically we're going to do about 40 orders across the board. But maybe it'll be a little bit better this time. I'm getting messages left and right. Sorry. Have you done a video on 22 arc you're using at the grind? Not really. I'm probably going to film at the Gap Brine. I was going to film some before, but I was using factory ammunition, and the factory Hornady ammo wasn't really good. Like it was okay, like decent, but not good. So I really didn't want to show off the gun with ammo that I felt like didn't really demonstrate the gun's capability. So I'm probably going to film at the Gap Brine. Probably going to, I got a new little setup to hopefully make. I bought this literally just for matches, the little DJI pocket deal. So I'm hoping this will make things a little easier because I can literally like we got some inception stuff going on here. Let's see if we can do it. Do the ultimate inception, but hopefully I can just hand this to people who I'm shooting with, and it's on a little gimbal. It's super easy, hit one button and then get some footage for you guys that way. Hoping that's going to make that a little bit easier. So I will have this at the Gap Brine, at the night before Christmas match. I'll have this at the DMR, plus, when I can, my main cameras, but I plan on using that kind of as like B-roll, and I'll talk about the gun. So you guys will get to see me shoot it like out to like 1,300 yards or so at the Gap Brine, which will be cool. But so far, really been a really good gun. Not much to say about it, though. It's just a Curtis, I think an Axiom action. It's GCP branded, little barrel, GCP chambered ends and a Vision. So pretty basic setup, but a really solid setup for me so far. We are winding down. It looks like we may cut it off a hair early. Looks like we got through most of the questions, and I can't show you any of the really cool fidget spinners we have here. Seeing the 25 Creedmoor versus 22. I'm my buddy's shooting. Actually, my AM is shooting in 25, and ballistically they're shooting. They're going to be shooting bigger, better BC bullets. So, the 25 is going to win. Honestly, I thought I was going to be able to shoot factory ammo, kind of go through and lot test a few different lots of the factory 88 ELDM. And if I could do that, the attraction was I could just shoot factory ammo and I could just buy it. Wouldn't have to worry about loading, wouldn't have to worry about load development. And it would be cheap enough just to buy it. I wouldn't have to worry about it. So that was my attraction, was like I could just buy, a bunch of ammo that would be pretty good and use it. Just didn't turn out that way. The ELDMs suck. And it just, I don't know why I thought it was going to be a great idea, because even my 223, I was shooting 88 ELDMs in a bolt gun and I had terrible luck with them. So, I don't know. When I thought the idea up, that was the idea. I used factory ammo and 88 ELDMs. The factory ammo is pretty cheap considering, and saved myself some grief. But, I've thrown a red dot on a scope for PRS or NRL. For me, though, honestly, I'm usually really consistent about just indexing the rifle into the prop and finding my target. Like, I don't typically get behind the gun even once I've hit a new position and not see the target almost immediately in the scope. So, it's just, I really haven't needed to, but I have experimented with it. I've actually had crap luck with Hornady bullets. We were loading up 88 ELDMs for my bolt gun, and the overall length kept going all over the place. And we were just wondering, we're using literally an Area 419 zero press, like one of the best presses money can buy. And then we started measuring the bullets before we were putting them in, and they were all over the place, like a couple thousands just all over the place, like 2,000s longer, 2,000s, 3,000 shorter than the average. It was pretty crazy. So I don't think that may not even matter too much as far as a bullet flight, but it just kind of didn't give me much confidence. How'd you make your Vision Pro top fit your Vision Legacy chassis and forend? I took mine to match up, and the VP one time it's too long. Yeah, so it is longer. So it sticks out the back, over the back. But on the CZ action, there's nothing in the way. So it just kind of like it's notched out. It kind of goes around the scope base, but all the holes lined up. So, on a different setup, it may not work. You think SK ammo works good with 1022 custom rifle? Need 0.3 or less competition rating? Yeah, I mean SK semi-auto. You're gonna have to find the right lot, but it's doable for sure. I mean, I would look at rifle match. You don't need any of the SK is going to feed really well in the semi-auto. Typically, the semi-auto is going to have a little bit more juice on it for cycling the action, but SK, rifle match, long range, they're going to work fine in your semi-auto. Let's see. Yeah, I think everybody's slipping, man. I was shooting factory 77 like AEC ammo, and then they changed the recipe and it went to crap on me. So now I'm freaking loading 223. So now I'm shooting 77s, but I'm just loading them Sierra bullets. But I'm not going. I'm just using brand new brass and throwing a primer powder bullet in it. So that's what I'm shooting for gas gun. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people having those issues. There you go. Yeah, the ELDM, man, I had problems. And it's probably a lot to lot kind of thing. You're going to find some lots better than the other. But, yeah, I definitely had some issues. But it looks like we're catching up. I'm going to call it a wrap for tonight, guys. I really appreciate you guys showing up. And hopefully I got some really cool videos coming. I'm going to be able to get them out. I will go ahead. I'm going to go ahead with the video about what you need to shoot long range, like what you actually need. And then off of that, I'll spend a little bit of time this week building a profile for whichever gun I end up picking, or maybe when we go to Lens and shoot part 2 of kind of like those expensive gun builds, I'll build the profile out there and I'll do a video, screen record that. We'll talk about building a profile and AB quantum, all that good stuff. And then, of course, I got the bags to show you guys. We'll do a bag test, stability, and then we got all the matches and match footage coming up. Look at this guy come out of freaking retirement just to be my wet nurse. You can't be my wet nurse anymore, man. We're not in Missouri together, but it is nice to see you, old Chris. Everybody needs to take a second, all 146 you watching, and give Chris from Midwest Long Range a ration of crap about not being a YouTuber anymore. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anything. That's funny. Muzzle brake choice. I really don't have one. I'm testing a bunch. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna have a muzzle brake after the gap grind. We're gonna do a muzzle brake test on that because I have the Vision brake and it works really well. But I got a buddy who makes brakes. So yeah, but yeah, I appreciate everybody showing up. Yeah, the botany is out there. Yeah, it's so expensive. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to get one of, maybe not the botany, but we're going to get something. But yeah, I don't know that he didn't quit. Like his channel's still there, but he is obviously not making videos. He's just got a lot going on, personal life, work, and all those things. So I don't blame him at all for not making YouTube videos. Yeah, I appreciate you guys showing up again. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. I appreciate it. He says he needs to teach me how to fish. Well, you couldn't teach me how to shoot, so I don't know what makes you think you can teach me how to fish. We'll see you guys. Thanks for showing